Holy fuck. How are you, everybody? Oh, man. Where do we start tonight? So my last broadcast last night was probably pretty rough edge, but now it seems like it was spot on. Who knew? So tonight, they restrained and detained many people in many different airports across America because of Trump's executive action, scaring the fuck out of people that had come into this country and were detained. What's going to happen to them? Are they going to be sent back? Got to sort of put yourself in the position of the person who's being detained and how scary that must be. If you have small children, you feel real vulnerable. Good job by most people in general live streaming the protests. A lot of good information coming across. ACLU finally brings them right to court, gets it restrained. So we're going to court, motherfucker. This is going to be a long battle. This is not over. We win, you lose. This guy has to be taken on. We got to meet him in the streets every day. It's just going to be, it's as simple as that. Every airport, Denver, New Jersey's airports, Newark, I think JFK, all had, there's several places where there were rallies, so you've got to be impressed with people getting out there fast. People from my party down here, the Green Party, got there fast and live streamed. I was really impressed. That's what it's going to take. This is all us. This is us against them. And that's why I'm really having a hard time with a lot of the political purity that's going on, man. We have to stick together. We have to be careful. Our differences between each other are not that great. It's percentage points that you're playing with. And when you play with these percentage points of the separation between groups, you're letting them win. So you could pick your fights and pick your differences, but when it comes down to banning Muslims or this fucking unbelievable HB 135 in Wyoming where, I don't know if you heard about this, somebody had the fucking gall, the nerve to write a bill in Wyoming almost making anybody from the LGBTQ community not a person. You shouldn't receive social services. You shouldn't have a job. You shouldn't be able to adopt children. You shouldn't be able to receive any sort of safety nets benefits because you're lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. That was the bill that was being brought. And somehow it got pulled, but it doesn't matter. Somebody had the nerve to put it up there. So again, when you start dividing us in political purity, like Jill's better than Bernie, and Bernie's better than this, and you're fucking up. You've got to keep us together. Everybody has their little comments about everybody. Everybody wants to, tonight I'm talking about Trudeau saying, hey, bring the refugees there. And they're like, oh, Trudeau, he's a neoliberal. Yeah, but tonight he's a fucking hero. Because tonight he's calling out Trump and saying, look, that's not cool. All right? So pick your battles on the nights you want to pick them. You can't run with all this political purity. Here's the reality of the situation. Bernie Sanders was crushing it. Crushing it. Do you understand how big he won in those primaries, where it counted, where progressives live, and the donations that were made? Do you know that he almost raised almost $250 million alone on just separate individual donations, which is the key to winning a race. You have to have 250 mil to win a political race in this country. That's the reality. So when you start to attack burners because you think you're more politically pure, you're doing nothing. You're not helping anything. Pick your battles. You can have that stance, but there's a time and a place for everything. And tonight was not that time. Tonight was not that place. There are times when we're all going to have to come together. And that's what Real Progressives is about, is keeping it real so that you guys understand that you can't be doing this all the time. It's way too important. People's lives are at stake. People are being detained. Healthcare is trying to be repealed. People are trying to do shit. So stop being so divisive inside the left movement. That's what they fucking want. Don't you realize what's going on? Do you understand the bigger picture here? Let me give you the bigger picture. Bannon is running the fucking show. Not Trump, not Pence, it's Bannon. Bannon is running the show. And you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to bring up whatever he can to engage them and to push their movement. You're not going to see them running the streets. Oh, they're organizing behind the scenes, and they're happy about this. They're happy about the ban. They're happy about everything that he's doing. So the word's getting out in their community. Oh, we're winning. But our side has to play political purity. Our side has to play political ego on a night where people are being banned from this country. Who the fuck do you think you are? Seriously, get a fucking grip of your ego, man. You're not that politically pure. Nobody is that politically pure. Don't be religious with your political views. People's lives are at stake. Okay, maybe you're a fucking white suburban somebody. You don't have to worry about your brown skin or your religion or the fact that you're fucking fleeing from Syria. You get to sit in your fucking suburban with your fucking, I don't know, your insect killer and your fucking, I don't want to make too many general stereotypes, but you know what I'm talking about. Stop it. Stop it with your political purity. You're not doing anything. You're jerking off at home. It's time to stand up together whenever you can. That's it. Bannon is running the show. Bannon, today, it's the craziest shit you'll ever hear. He's pulling people off the Intelligence Committee and putting Bannon in place. So we better stick together because he's coming for us. He's coming for this channel. He's coming for anybody who's going to speak against him. They're going after them first. Whoever's working the hardest, whether it be the ACLU or any organization that actually has power, he's coming for them. But you're going to be busy worrying about what Bernie didn't do, and we should be doing this, and that person did this. The fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Get off your fucking high political horse. Start reaching out to everybody. Start waking up as many people as you can, because they're waking up. That other side is waking up. They know exactly what this is. This is a fascist playbook. Go and study it. Go study fascist regimes. Go study Benito Mussolini. That's what this is. And everybody you turn into is going to look like, wow, they're so important. They have so many things to say. Fuck you. Fuck you and what you have to say. Get people riled up. Get them on the same page. Stop splitting up this leftist movement. Stop playing your political petty purity. Who the fuck do you think you are? I'm not going to let you get away with it. I'm going to watch every one of your shows. I'm going to see what you're doing. It's bullshit, man. You're killing people. You're scaring people. This is an evil like you've never seen before. Sounds like a fucking movie, right? Sounds like Terminator. Sounds like I'm being overly dramatic, as Kelly Conway would say. But I'm worried. I'm worried that it's all about ego. I'm worried about it's all about political purity. I'm worried that you're not reaching across every left movement. I got to read your guys' comments. Sorry. I was born in Greece during the military junta of a person's name I can't pronounce, Papadopoulos. I know fascism. Yeah. There are people who lived under this shit that know what's going on. This is all about riling up to be for the state, yay the state, behind language that sounds like it's good. Pence at the march yesterday said compassion 6 times in his speech, which is a bunch of fucking bullshit. But no one's going to call them out. They're not compassionate. You know that the Christian right, and I don't mean to offend anybody, I'm talking about the Christian right, not the Christian left, because last night I was hitting the Christian right hard. I'm sure there's plenty of religious groups that are get it, right? But the Christian right, that's a dangerous group. So we got to hit them hard when they start to write bills in Wyoming saying that people who of certain sexual identities aren't humans. People are, think about that. This is not a fucking movie. This isn't Black Mirror, people. This is going on right now. You're not living on Netflix. 1984 is now, says Sharon. Thank you. Christopher McMillan says, who are you on, what are you, who, I don't know what the fuck Christopher's saying. Christopher writes some more than that stupid comment. All right, let me back. So anyway, I'm not seeing. Tonight was a great night for the movement. People came out in droves. People live streamed. People shared. You've got to connect with all these people. Someone came up with a really good idea tonight. It's like, maybe on Facebook we should start giving each other our phone numbers, just in case this whole thing gets shut down. Just in case there's a military coup, we might want to have each other's phone numbers instead of working off Facebook. So there's Freddie Flores, and I think she's from Wyoming, and I believe she was the one who told me, because everybody was pasting it. The Wyoming bill, which is HB 135, everybody was posting it and saying call, but I still think you should call, even though they pulled the bill. I still think you should send the fear of the left into them, They're not going to stop. This Bannon's not going to stop, and they're not afraid of us. It's got to be a numbers game. We've got to make them afraid. I'm looking through all your comments, by the way. I'm sorry, Christopher. I'm not going to name names, Chris, but there are people out there that, TYT can't be trusted, right? They flip a lot, and people get pissed at them, but they bring good information, so you can nitpick on TYT. I nitpick on TYT. You can nitpick on many different broadcasters, but it's the ones that come out with this political purity that I worry about. And the reason why I worry, Chris, is that Bernie Sanders crushed it. If you even beyond the metrics with the caucuses and the states that he just dominated in and the money that he raised. So what I'm saying is people attack Bernie as if they're going to flip these burners back or they're going to turn them this way and say, oh, well, Bernie endorsed Hillary and now he doesn't go election fraud. The burners are out here and they're fucking pissed. They were pissed when they came in. They're out of their minds now. And we're trying to bring more people in. So who knows who's going to speak to who? Maybe some people like Bernie, some people like Jill, but it's the political purity. And if you write a comment, then someone has something to say about it. Well, tonight's not the time for that. I'm going to lose track of time. I need you guys to tell me what time it is because my watch died. Karen. Yeah, so everybody's down on TYT, Justice Democrats. I mean, everybody has an opinion, and that's great, but that's not good for tonight. Tonight is like, man, where was TYT? Why didn't they go live? Where were legitimate progressive media on the night that we needed them? And that's what this station has to be. That's what we have to be. We have to be first. We have to be on the air and reporting it and being real, and trying to keep it focused on what needs to get done, whether it be protest, or you got to donate to the ACLU, or you got to make phone calls, or you got to show up at a rally tomorrow morning. We have to have all this information. That's the key to what we do here. And it's not me, it's us, it's you guys. When I say to you, I need to know what's going on in these other states as far as women's rights, you better fucking start putting comment down there and telling me. I know in Texas they just suspended having, if you had an abortion, you were going to either have to pay to have it cremated or a burial. They stopped that. Fucking insane. Who would do that to a person? Who's going to do that to some woman? Now you got to pay for that cremation or that burial that you had an abortion. The fuck? That was in Texas. But that was stopped again through a court ruling. But it almost took place. Wyoming, people of certain sexual identities are not humans. Someone wrote that bill. So when it comes to political purity, we are so close, man. It's like you're 100% purity, I'm 95, that person's 80%. But on nights like tonight, you got to let that go. We all got to come together. And that's why when you split up the groups, when you split up each group, you become, and then Bernie says it, I'm not saying anything new, but when you split up these groups, that's when we become less powerful. And that's what they want. So all these crazy fucking broadcasts you see, and all these crazy fucking people who broadcast shit. And to be honest, we're not broadcasting enough. It needs to be more. This is, I'm really not happy about that. Karen says alternate social media sites. Mine's I can't. Oh, people. I'm trying to read your comments. I'm sorry. I'm just like. Yeah. So right now the ban has been lifted, but we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. That's the next scary thing. You never know what the action is going to be tomorrow, and what's going to happen, and that's why I'm saying we've got to stick together, and that's why I'm saying this is so important. And it's not about me; it's about us. And you guys got to keep me up to date with the information. On my page, I try to share as many of the live broadcasts and people who are actually trying to do the work. I add them. And supposedly, New York. The other thing that supposedly happened tonight was New York City taxi drivers or taxi drivers in general tried to work with the boycott. So again, can you imagine if taxi cab drivers were politically engaged and start talking to people and start asking like, hey, can you help us out? Can you, or giving their sides of the story? It's about engagement. That's all I'm telling you. Everything that they're doing, whether or not it works, is done to waken or to grow their movement. It doesn't matter if it works. They want to grow their voting base. They want to grow their engagement. They want to look at us. You can feel it. It's a Christian national narrative. And I don't know if anybody's going to call that out, but that's what this is. And it's all done by Bannon. Obviously, he has support by Pence, and Trump is the puppet now. Even though I think he knows very clearly what he's doing. I'm exhausted, people. This was exhausting tonight. We are protesting I didn't hear about this. Lila Barry, we were protesting in Houston right now. See, I didn't catch the Houston protest, so that was one of the ones that I missed. So there's a protest in Houston going on right now. Thank you so much for that, Lila. It wasn't a transportation mistake. It was I don't even know how effective it was, but it was supposed to be with taxi drivers who weren't going to drive people to certain airports in response. But I don't know how effective it was and how many people participated in that strike. I'm looking back at your guys' comments. My mouth is so dry. Yeah, I don't think who's that said that? I don't think you really should commit to a group, Shannon. I think you got to move around. What I do down in Jersey is I'm listening to everybody. I'm with the Green Party. I paid my dues with the Green Party. I know you guys are, I want to know about that, but I'm willing to listen to anybody. I'm a burner at heart. I joined the Green Party because I'm from an area where it's a red area, and if you join the Democrats, you're basically joining the Republicans. So I'm saying everyone's going to be slightly different. I'm sorry, my mouth is so dry. Ugh. Anybody know what time it is? Oh, Lord. Ooh. Anybody know what time it is out there? Let's see. National Strike and Boycott, February 17th. That was from Daryl. I hadn't really heard about that. Oh. I need a producer who can get me a glass of water. All right. So we got 9 minutes. All right. So there was protests everywhere tonight. ACLU came out, really immediately brought them to court, won the case. We did everything we needed to do, but like I said, it doesn't matter if we don't stick together on this. So I'm suggesting to you that wherever you live, try to get involved with as many groups as you can. So I'm involved with the Green Party down here. I paid my dues. I'm on committees, all that nonsense, but I'm willing to listen to anybody. And actually, our Green Party candidate for governor was actually on the was picketing at New York Airport. I'm trying to think, EWR. So that was really cool. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let's see. Lila Barr says, also, we are protesting at North Dakota Pipeline at the football game in Houston next week. Oh, that's very cool. So there's going to be a protest there. Karen, thanks for the time, 11:51. But the thing is, we are under attack. It's not going to stop. It's going to get worse. They're putting these things in place. Bannon is now in charge. Is going to be like the guy running the intelligence community. That does not bode well, and that should be a very big story. And that also should bring out this fascist narrative. And Bannon and everything that he does has to be investigated, because it's all from the alt-right. This is from the very, very, very far right, fascist, Christian nationalist movement. And this has to be revealed over and over again. And they're growing their movement. And I just don't want our movement to be divided. That's what we have to do. We got to definitely keep it real there. Kenny says, sorry, I can't commit while I watch for some reason. I don't know what that means. So tonight was a crazy night. I can't even believe what I'm watching, man. It's just crazy that they would do this. But it was great to see all the protests. It was great to see people get out there as quickly as they did. And let's, hope that they're all from all different parts of the party. The Green Party, the Working Class Party. You're going to have Democrats. You're going to have Bernie-crats. And they all have to come together. So you have to really watch the political purity, because we're very similar. We're all very similar, and people are getting fucked over because of this. Wyoming, Texas, and like I said, all these other things that are going on in women's rights, we have to be aware of. So, I'm asking you to sort of reach across the lines wherever you live. Got to learn all the players, Learn all the players. It's not going to be easy. Like I said, we have a governor's race down here, and I have to pay attention to. I want to hear what all the candidates have to say. I'm with the Green Party right now, but I have to have the reality. And here's the reality. The reality is the Green Party candidate is probably not going to win. That's the reality. Now, people hate that from the Green Party. Like, how could you say that? Because it's reality. People don't know who this guy is. He has no, metrics as far as, it's like Bernie all over again, minus 100. No one knows who this guy is. He's not a former senator. He's not a former assemblyman. He's a pastor. So everything indicates that it's going to be a tougher road than Bernie. But people hate to hear that. I'm just trying to deal with reality. I'm trying to keep it real so that you guys understand what we're up against. And that's why you have to listen to everybody to know what's going on the left. And I'm not saying you don't need to protest and you need to call them out when you should, but tonight's not that night. Tonight's not the night to take focus off what the issue is, which is the banning of Muslims, which is the going after people. I don't know what's next. I don't know what's next in the playbook, but it's pretty fucking scary when you have Bannon coming into the intelligence community. And we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, Kenny says she couldn't listen to me speak and tell me what time it was. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough to do the broadcast. Like I said, I wish we had. Eventually, we will have a newsroom, and we will be able to put up stats, and we'll take calls, and this will get better. And we need to become, and that's when you guys are going to be, even more engaged. You're going to have to call in and give us information, and this is just starting. But I saw no progressive media actually doing reports. Actually, that's a lie. Intercept was amazing tonight. Intercept actually interviewed two lawyers on the way to Los Angeles Airport. Was it Los Angeles Airport? Or was it Newark Airport? Anyway, it was two lawyers on the way to the airport who were coming to protect some of the detainees. So they were great. And there was just a ton of live streams. It was really, tonight was what I imagine social media to be. But I feel like there should be a 24-hour progressive news that's going to keep everybody engaged, because they are keeping them engaged. What I'm trying to explain to you is Bannon and Trump, they will literally dictate the narrative continually, every day. They're not going to stop. It's going to be 7 days a week. It's not going to be like Obama, and I know you guys, he's a neoliberal and he was a fascist. But I'm saying this is going to be different. It's going to be a 7-day-a-week narrative. They want to take this over, and we almost have no way to fight back because we have no really true progressive network. There is no true progressive network, in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Is there a true progressive 24/7 media outlet? Not that I'm aware of. You let me know if I'm wrong. But that's what we're about. We are, we're landing on the progressive moon. We're trying to put together a 24/7, truly grassroots media outlet. That's what we're trying to do. Tonight was devastating, man. This is crazy. What's going on is crazy. I can barely, take it. Yes. It will be us. It's us, not me. And it's not about political purity. It's not about dividing people. You can pick your battles, but not tonight. So when people are posting stuff and you distract away from what's going on tonight to make a political point about something in the other direction, you're sort of doing the same thing that they do. Do you understand? If you point the needle at a different direction tonight when people are being detained and we're trying to start a rally, we're trying to start a movement, and you try to water it down, you're doing the same thing. You're doing their work for them. You're splitting the movement. You're distracting the conversation. Yeah. Karen, we are trying to come close to it. We have a long ways to go. It's frustrating for me. I want this to be 24/7. I want it to be your calls, And you guys are going to help too. It's all about us. All right. He assigned 17 executive orders in 6 days. In only 6 days. Oh, I wish I could get some sleep. But I should go because I don't know what time it is, and I'm assuming it's so we can wrap it up. But just try to reach out, give your cell phone numbers, go to different groups, be careful of political purity, be open to all. And when nights like tonight, stay focused, stay vigilant. Don't get distracted by those other conversations about other things, because tonight's not that night. You can do it tomorrow. Okay, you can do it next week if you want. You can talk about, your problems with Bernie and election fraud and all that nonsense another night. But tonight it's about Syrians, and tonight it's about Muslims, and tonight it's about protecting other people that aren't you. Tonight's not about you and your feelings about Bernie and election fraud and anything else that's keeping you distracted. Real Progressive says one thing Trump has done in 7 days is completely obliterate the myth that the president has no power. That is true. That is true. So on that note, Real Progressives, I want to thank you guys for tuning in as always. It's all about you guys. I love all your comments. I love all your hearts and your likes. I love your hearts most of all. Here's the problem. Here's the number one problem with the left a lot of times, is they get intellectual. They get too intellectual and they forget about their hearts. Think about your heart first. Think about that person first. Think about that detainee. Think about how scared they are. Think about how many kids are scared tonight. Muslim kids in America are scared. Think about how many kids are scared around the world tonight. All right, I got to go.